Oh, that... Okay, it should work now. Alright, folks. I hate to tell you this, but I've been streaming since 7:50, and I've been drinking each and every one of these wines I have here. And I didn't press go live, and so I've just been drinking wine in front of my webcam. So I'm gonna give you a little. I'll just give you a summary of what I've gone through so far in terms of tasting, because I've had these wines for quite a while. I needed to taste them some way or another. So here we have the two estate blends from the year 2020. And these are from grapes I grew myself. We have the white blend, which essentially has been made from, where's my notes? Palomino, some Sauv Blanc, and Chardonnay. And we have the red blend here, which was essentially a lot of Syrah, Aglianico, little Zinfandel, and I think some Pinot Noir. So these two were both fermented with bread yeast. But, I mean, despite that, they're drinkable, but it's not something I would really, buy off the shelf of a store to drink. But it's still pretty awesome that these two, made them with grapes I grew myself. So, something to think about there. Kind of awesome. I'm too drunk to live stream. And guess what? That was the point of this live stream. Too drunk to live stream. The stream is, turning me up, bro. So, aside from those two, we have the estate blend from this year, from grapes I grew myself. This one primarily Palomino grapes, and we got a ton of grapes this year for this harvest. We made 2 mason jars worth of this one. And this was fermented with some white wine yeast, because it's primarily white grapes. But however, there were some red grapes in here. What made it? There was some Zinfandel, a little Syrah. But primarily it was just I want to say 8 pounds worth of this white grape we had. The Palomino, maybe a little Sauv Blanc. But this one, it was pretty good at first a few months ago, but I think something may have gotten into it because there's kind of an off flavor in here. But it's not it doesn't destroy the whole flavor of the wine. We'll get a little sip right now. Yeah. So anyway, there's 2 mason jars worth of this. It's got a little off flavor, but it doesn't destroy the flavor. So, the other wine we've got here today is this Petite Sirah, which I purchased about 50 pounds of grapes from a local grower. He's literally got grapevines in his front yard and backyard, which is kind of awesome. Like at least a dozen rows. Oh, I hope that didn't mess up my connection. But, so we bought that many, crushed them with my feet, and there's a good live stream for that you can watch. And, I put together a whole video worth of that. That filled up about, after pressing it, there's 3 gallons worth, and I was fermenting it in this bucket you can kind of see behind me here. And, about 2 weeks ago, siphoned it off the dregs and filled up with this bottle here I'm holding. A 1 gallon jug worth, the standard, Carlo Rossi style. And there's still a gallon left in the fermenter. And I kind of want to try oaking the wine that's in the fermenter to see if it changes the flavor profile. But what we've got here is pretty good already. It's pretty decent. It's drinkable. It's only been 3 months into it. And how can you argue? It's 14.5% alcohol by volume. So, before I figured out that the stream wasn't streaming, I poured some of this and taste tested these other ones. So here we go with your Petite Sirah here. Now, in order for me to have a good baseline taste comparison prior to drinking this, not today, but earlier in the year, purchased a bottle of the Bogle Petite Syrah grown in Clarksburg, California, so that's pretty local to me. So to get an idea of what we got here, like it tastes very similar to that, like how wine should taste. Yeah, we're not quite there with this wine yet, but it's drinkable. But however, it's not very well filtered. So as I drink more of this, it will turn my tongue blue. So it's got a little bit of sediment in there. Like it's just Petite Syrah though, is like very red grape. Like it stains, like, because when I was making this in the backyard, like it spilled a little bit out of the bucket onto the pavement. Like it turned the pavement a little purple. Like, wow. Like I wouldn't say it's on the level of a beet, but I mean, you could dye like cloth or something with this wine, or the grapes at least. So you turn to the chat and ask them if they got any questions about this, or if they have any suggestions for wine to make next year even. Because I mean, so far this has been a good success. Like I paid $25 to get about 2.5 gallons worth of wine almost, which essentially would translate to 12 bottles of wine. So a little bit more than a $2 chuck of Petite Syrah with homemade wine. I mean, it just took a bit of time, but it was a fun process. Very therapeutic, stomping the grapes. And we got something to drink and something to share with visitors. So yeah, I only found out about the guy who was growing them because there was an ad in the wine shop the day I was buying the yeast to make this one here. So I kind of texted the guy and was like, hey, is there any minimum quantity on grapes? Like, no, come on over. And then there was came over one Friday evening with a few buckets. He's like, yeah, have at it. Go snip them yourself. So spent a good hour or so like just harvesting Petite Syrah grapes in the backyard of this guy's house. I guess he was like an employee of this shop too, so it kind of makes sense why his own ad was up. He said this, like, he just bought the house and like this is the first year he was like selling the wine. So that's kind of awesome. I wish I could share a glass with that guy now, like, but I'm certain because he's got all the vines in the world, he's got his own way of making it. Might be better than mine, but you know, I don't know if the stream can capture the wine tears that like are showing up on this glass. The webcam focus that, but like, yeah, being like nearly 14.5 alcohol by volume, it's forming a lot of them. So I apologize to the stream viewers in advance for how should I say this, streaming without streaming, you know, and doing like pretty much everything I would do on the stream without pressing go live. I thought it would just auto start. Like, you would have seen this one taste tested, this one taste tested, but there's no record of it now anymore. But if you can make your own wine at like $2 a bottle here, that tastes pretty good. You could share with people, or buy the $2 chuck in the store. I don't think Charles Shaw has Petite Syrah as a $2 chuck. I think they have Syrah. They definitely have Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, Sauv Blanc, but I don't think they have Petite Syrah. But I don't know. Petite Syrah isn't really my first choice for a red anyway. I prefer Zinfandel. So, some good stuff. I wish you, the viewers, could like be with me right now and enjoy some of this wine. Because, I mean, for the effort that went into this, this is pretty good. Like, for all the estate blends I have, and then I have this, which is from a legitimate grape grower in the area. Like, this is pretty good. So I'm gonna just sip on this, and if you got any questions, you can hop on and type it in the chat. Not reading. Participants. There's no participants. So, I'd like to thank the loyal viewers, everyone who's involved in viticulture, who appreciates viticulture, and if my videos inspired you to try making your own wine, then I'm glad I could have done that for you, provided it came out okay. So I'm going to end the stream here. Enjoy the rest of this. Maybe, you know, have my landlord try it, because I don't think he's tried this yet. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Ah. I told you it turned your tongue blue. I don't know, I'm not sure what the solution is to remove that from the wine. I think it's more of a feature when I get a print at the Franzia. No, we're only tasting wine I've made myself. We're not going to try Franzia. I mean, I know I prefer, you know, my wine in boxes. I'm just kidding. I prefer one I make. I prefer this, because one I can say I made it. Slap the bag. Have you ever tried canned wine? That's a thing they make now. Like, you can go to Trader Joe's and they sell wine in cans, and it actually isn't that bad. It's kind of a novelty if you think about it. But I mean, you sell beer in cans, why not just sell wine in cans? I guess it's just more expensive. I mean, a can's easier to recycle than, like, a glass bottle, for the most part. Melting down metal versus breaking glass and melting that down. I'm pretty certain. Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here. But I've had a lot of fun with the viewers. And, you know, next year we'll get some more wine. Maybe next week I'll do the session and we'll actually get to record doing this on camera. If the viewers demand it. Same with this one. We'll get the other bottle of this. Maybe it won't have the off flavor. But yeah, like I was saying, you can get this one on oak, and then compare the before and after of this Petite Sirah not on oak versus Petite Sirah on oak. I think that'd be interesting. So, alright viewers, peace out.